Right, so lads, today's chapter is Orthographic Projection 1, so it's chapter 12 and it's page 157. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at making sure, so we're going to look at question 2 and we're going to follow these directions, okay? So make sure that we're having there, so a front elevation looking in from the direction of arrow A, so front elevation. We're going to project a plan from the direction of arrow B, so looking down from above. So making sure that B is always underneath A. Now A, we're looking in from the right, we're drawing it on the left. Okay, that's key. Looking in from one side, you draw it in the opposite. Just like here, we look in from above, we draw it below. Draw an end view in the direction of arrow C. So we're looking in here, the end view, in from the left, we're going to draw it on the right hand side. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'll also bring up the SolidWorks. Okay, so I made a little SolidWorks model. I'll show you here real quick, which is this one here. So this is our object that we're drawing here, okay? It's made up in SolidWorks. And as I'm going to go to each view, I'm going to pop in the views on this, and as we're going to draw them, then you'll be able to see which one is which as well. So we'll jump back to this. So first things first, we're going to put in our XY line. All right. So our XY. So the XY line is the ground line. Okay, so that's the ground line. Now, I'm going to pop in our Y line. Now we're going to look at our drawing, okay? And we have A is looking in from the right. So we're going to draw it over here on the left. That is the front elevation. Okay, and like I said, always below that is B, which is the plan. And then we have the end view or the end elevation. It's looking in from the left, we draw it on the right. So that is C, which is the end view or end elevation. So then whatever's left over, our box down here, we get our 45 degree set square from the center out at 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Okay. So to start this all off, we want to do our front elevation. Okay, so the front elevation, which is this surface here, all right, and we are going to view orientation here, and we are going to go normal to that one, and this is our object. Okay, so this is the object we're looking at, and this is what it should look like then on our page. All right, so we want to make sure that we have our overall height, our overall ground length, and we just want to be conscious of how far up we go, how much across it is before that slope. All right, so we'll have a little go at that there now. So making sure on this front elevation, we're going 10 away from the XY line, or the YY line I should say, apologies. And just so we don't have everything cramped up against it. The overall height of that object is 60 millimeters. 60 millimeters there. And the overall length of it is 100, which is here. All right. Now we're going to make a light little box around this one, just a light box, light lines. All right, because you can pop in all our measurements in on top of this. So our top portion here is going to be over 35 millimeters, which is to here. Pop that in nice and heavy there. All right, and put this in. Right hand side of it here in heavy. Now the front portion here steps up 25 millimeters. We can close that off there. Now this little shelf portion here, alright, so I'm jumping back here real quick to SolidWorks, which is this portion across here. So this line here, we want to get that in next before we put in our slope. So we're watching that for our sizes. And that there is 40 millimeters. So we're going to do a light line first across. And we're going to measure over our 40 millimeters. We can now heavy that in. All we do then is we join our slope. So 2 points there to create our slope. That is your front elevation. Now, what we're going to do here now is we're going to jump to the plan underneath. Alright, so we'll have a little look at the plan underneath. So we'll go to our plan. So I'm going to hit my menu here, and I'm going to look from above here. Oh, it did a twist on me. Apologies. So we'll draw back into 3D view for myself. And I'll do normal view. It's always fun when you have a few glitches. I'll just clear that off there for a second. Okay, so apologies about that for a second. I was slightly crooked in the picture there. This now is our plan view. So when we look down, it just looks like 3 rectangles. Our slope surface turned into a rectangle when you're looking from above. So when we pop back to our image here, we've already got our widths. So we can get our set square. I'm going to take my outer 2 all the time as usual and send down those outer 2 light lines. We're going to step 10 millimeters away here, because again, we don't want it cramped up on top of the XY line. I can put that in heavy just if we figure back to our SolidWorks image there a second ago. Now, the overall width of our object is 60 millimeters. So I'm going to measure up my 60 here. I'm going to put in my heavy line baseline. Now, I can close off this rectangle. Alright, so we have our box shape, our rectangular shape. If we jump back to SolidWorks there, we have it there, the outer shape. Now we need the 2 inside lines. Okay. Which is the top of the slope, dropped down. And it is the front of the slope, dropped down. Alright. Now, that's your plan. Nearly there now. So we want to project our image over to our end view. So we can take the heights which we have here from the elevation. You can just transfer them across. And we want to bring our plans over as well. So we're going to send them as far as our 45-degree line. Alright. And we're going to send these, once they hit the 45, we're going to send these ones up. So if I jump back now, last time back to the SolidWorks image, okay, which is going to give us, hopefully we don't have any glitches this time. And we do, of course. Doesn't like me today, that's fine. I'll just rotate it around, okay? And final rotation, which we have here, okay? So looking straight in here, we have 2 rectangles, top and bottom. Okay, so I'll jump back to here, and we finish up with 2 rectangles. This one is the big one on the outside, and finally that center line one across. And that is your object drawn out. And that is page 157, question 2 of the orthographic.